have proof to support that fall in line with what the laws are.
It's not actionable at all. Like, I think even because she added in there the count.
So unfortunately, my camera's gonna die soon. But right now I'm working on this secret project that I haven't really told anyone besides my partner about. And essentially it's making small business-esque collectors type of thing, Labubus. Because to me, Labubus are fast fashion, so I'm giving slow fashion. This is my bucket of fabric. I'm going to make ears with this felt to make it more structured. That I already had. This is clay that I already had, and I just made 4, and we're going to see how it goes. The mission right now is to paint the faces. So, this is what we're working with, and we're going to go from here.
Is vicarious copyright infringement, and this lawyer explains that that's literally for holding third-party people accountable. So that doesn't even make any sense. And he also talks about how the items that Alyssa's copying are not owned by Sydney.
Like, well, and that's the thing. It's like you guys wearing the same stuff. Again, she could have copied you, and that's why she bought it. But anyone's allowed to buy it. So
anybody's allowed. Yeah, it wasn't a strong case, and I think that that's where we stood on, where it was just like, don't waste your time on that. You should have made a video like just exposing her, and we would have been like, oh, period, yeah.
And which honestly, I've seen a lot of people do because this is something that happens.
So what we're going to be covering is Sydney's update, because she's talking about it now because she dropped the case and no longer wants to proceed legally, and she explains why. So here's her update.
I sued another influencer for copying my beige aesthetic, is what the articles are saying. There is so much more to the story that hasn't been told. I've been silent for 2 years, and I'm finally ready to tell you my story. These are some of my posts compared to another.
I'm so dead that she literally is sitting in the beige aesthetic as we speak. And the news reporter had said, like, that is her house. Like, let me just tell you right now.
Other influencers starting in 2023. I discovered so many posts that, in my opinion, were clearly copies of my content. It was not only shocking and frustrating, but it felt like everything I put into creating content was just stolen. I sent many requests to stop, emails, even cease and desist letters, but she kept posting. I felt like I had no other choice but to file a lawsuit. So I'm going to start from the beginning with all the facts, receipts, and the truth. In December of 2022, I met up with 2 other influencers to get food and film content. We had a great time and texted a ton in our group chat after this. And we planned to meet up again in January of 2023. At the January meetup, it was the same thing, and we talked a ton about hanging out again. It was like 6 days later when I realized I hadn't seen this girl's post in a few days, and that was weird because she posts a lot like most creators. So I went to check her Instagram to see if I just wasn't seeing her on my feed, if she was okay, and I was blocked. I immediately called the other girl we met up with. She wasn't blocked, and she had no idea why in the world I would have been blocked when we had all just hung out and all talked about how excited we were to have content creator friends in the area. I sent a text in our group chat, never got a reply, so I moved on and didn't think about it again. Until months later, I saw her content on a creator seminar, and people started sending me her content because they thought it was mine. It turns out, after she blocked me, her content went from looking like this before we met.
Introducing Wegovy through Hers. Ready to lose up to 20% of your body weight or more through Hers?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Do We Know Them, episode 250! Hello everyone, and welcome back to Do We Know Them, episode...
I'm trying to prove.
Yeah.
Because you look like every other Amazon influencer, and I'm not saying that as an insult.
No.
It's just like, maybe people don't wear the same outfits you wear in the same type of locations. But if you look at any Amazon influencer, it's very similar.
Well, you'd have to be able to look at it on its own and say, without seeing that it's a copy of hers, that people are mistaking it for your stuff because of how she's presenting herself in the pictures. But, like, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can. It's pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
Misappropriation and vicarious copyright infringement. It's fighting for the rights of content creators because I do not believe that copying someone's content and...
Listen, Queen, I get it. I get it.
I applaud the effort, but it's
the
just...
chutzpah.
yeah. But it's just,
yeah, no,
it's not... This isn't covered under those laws. Should there be a new law about, like, blatantly copying someone's content, not using it, but doing it themselves? Maybe, but that needs to have a law for you to win in a lawsuit.
That's clear, and, like, you know the parameters of it, and it's like an easy way to measure it, because there were, as much as she's showing some of the compelling stuff, there was a lot of stuff that we watched where we're like, that's not exactly the same. You know what I mean?
You know,
Like,
some
it's
of the
like,
examples were
some
like,
of it is
not
absolutely.
really. I think she shows enough
Yeah.
examples to show that there is clearly copying
For
going
sure.
on, but at the end of the day, copying is not illegal.
Business the way she did is okay. It needs to be prevented.
Alright,
so this
first
doesn't
code
happen
is
to other
done.
creators. I'm finally able to talk about this because I chose to walk away from this lawsuit. I have poured thousands of dollars and so much of my time and sanity these past 2 years. If I were to continue fighting this and bring it to a trial, I would have to spend up to $500,000. I can't do that. I am a new mom, and I can't spend that kind of money on a lawsuit, much less the time that it would take away from my baby and my family. I can't do it. So as much as I believe what she did was wrong, I needed to walk away from this. All I wanted from the start was to get her to stop. I never even wanted to bring this to social media, but I know that staying silent will just allow this to happen over and over again to more creators, which is why I needed to share the story. TikTok did remove her post that I considered infringing on my copyright registered post, which is a huge step in TikTok taking creators' rights seriously.
First of all, that's not a great step, because that hurts people that are the subject of getting false copyright strikes filed against them, and why we had multiple videos
Frog
taken
Guy
down,
turn.
because it's an automated system and people aren't, like, humans are not
It's
reviewing
not TikTok
it.
siding with you. It's TikTok just being like, sure, whatever, take it out.
Yeah, like, there's plenty of content that they take down that they don't really believe
That they
is
shouldn't.
copyright infringement. It's just that no one looked into it, and I think that is muddying the waters for situations like ours, where anyone could get anything taken down if they just, like, file a DMCA takedown.
If we get to that point, this person's pictures look like mine, and then you could do DMCA takedown.
Exactly, that's just gonna hurt
You shouldn't be
everyone.
able to do that.
So I think, again,
which I'm not saying she didn't copy you. She
no,
did.
and I think if there was some way to get her pictures taken down for that reason, but the reason you're getting them taken down is not in line with what the law protects.
I'm not sure why, but months later, TikTok also removed her account. So if you compare her new account now with mine, you're not going to see all the posts that made our accounts look like the same person the way they did in 2023 because they've been deleted. Because of how the media has spun this to seem like it's all a lawsuit over Beige, I have received so much hate. I just hope that sharing this starts bigger conversations to prevent anything like this from happening to other creators. I also pray that she isn't receiving the amount of hate I have. I'm not putting this out there to encourage any type of hate to her, me, anyone. Please remember, we are both real people. This lawsuit has personally taken over my life. I needed to share the truth and these details that the media hasn't, so I can finally close this chapter completely.
I won't say that the media probably didn't, like, cheapen the entire thing and make it seem like it was much more, like, stupid than it was. I think she has legitimate, and I said this last time, I think she has a reason to be upset. I just don't think she has a reason to sue.
Yeah, I think that this just could have been far less stressful for her and for everyone. And I mean, she had the biggest following out of both of them. She would have definitely come out on top in that situation, and I think that Alyssa would have been called out. And yeah, you don't want to send hate to anyone, but you want that behavior to stop. You want people to say, hey, you're copying this person, we know you're doing it now, and so we're not gonna kind of like support that. And that's fine. I'm not talking death threats and shit.
No,
but
like, once people are aware of that, then, like, when they see it again, they'll be like, hey, wait, like, Sydney just posted this a couple days ago, and then people are holding her accountable in real time.
Yeah.
But also, she makes it sound like this new account, if you look at it, does not look like her account, which then, at the end of the day, she said all she wanted is for it to stop. Has it?
Yes. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna go to her.
And I assume that is probably because Alyssa was probably getting shit from a lot of people being like, you're fucking weird.
Oh.
We have a response.
We have an update. 7 hours ago. I just went to her page to see if the aesthetic had changed, and it looks like
Ooh, she's getting reamed in
it's
the
just her
comments.
trying on Amazon stuff. Yeah, the comments are not good. Top one is me when I'm delusional, so let's
I'm
see.
going to need you to be so for real.
By the way, the only thing she had said before this was this text on a screen when she was on a walk, and it said, "Wow, you handled that so well." No, actually, I didn't. I lost my spark. I lost myself. Cried every single day. Felt completely numb to everything. I fought as hard as I could to prove myself and to everyone that the bullies will never win.
Okay.
And then now this is her response after that.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna make a video or talk about the lawsuit at all. I plan to just move on with my life now that the case is finished. However, my family, friends, and loved ones are getting insane amounts of hate from a video that's sharing a false narrative and a lot of misinformation. So I felt the need to share the actual truth. Over a year ago, I was sued, and this past week the case was ended in my favor. It's really easy to make something out of nothing when you're cherry picking.
I don't know if I would say
That's
ended
a
in your favor.
misrepresentation of what happened. She dropped the case.
Yeah, she dropped the case, which I think that could be seen as like
A win for
Good
her,
for you.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
but not in your favor.
that gives like the judge ruled in your favor.
Or like the
something, and that
judge
didn't happen.
decided to dismiss it, not that she voluntarily withdrew it.
Examples.
Buffalo lets you create your ultimate staycation with some more game on. Similar reads.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Do We Know Them, episode 250!
What?
Hello everyone and welcome back to Do We Know Them, episode 250! 250! Hello everyone and
This just could have been far less stressful for her and for everyone. And I mean, she had the biggest following out of both of them. She would have definitely come out on top in that situation. And I think that Alyssa would have been called out. And yeah, you don't want to send hate to anyone, but you want that behavior to stop. You want people to say, hey, you're copying this person. We know you're doing it now.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to kind of like support that. And that's fine. I'm not talking death threats and shit.
No,
but, like,
but
you know.
like once people are aware of that, then like when they see it again, they'll be like, "Hey, wait! Like Sydney just posted this a couple
Correct.
days
It
ago,"
would've
and then
stopped the
people are holding
behavior
her
right there.
accountable in real time.
Yeah.
But also, she makes it sound like this new account, if you look at it, does not look like her account. Which then, at the end of the day, she said all she wanted is for it to stop. Has it?
Yes. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to go to her.
And I assume that is probably because Alyssa was probably getting shit from a lot of people being like, "You're fucking weird."
Oh.
We have a response.
We have an update. We have an update 7 hours ago. I just went to her page to see if the aesthetic had changed, and it looks like
Oh, she's getting reamed in
it's
the
just her
comments.
trying on Amazon stuff. Yeah, the comments are not good. Top one is me when I'm delusional, so let's
I'm
see.
going to need you to be so for real.
By the way, the only thing she had said before this was this text on a screen when she was on a walk, and it said, "Wow, you handled that so well." No, actually, I didn't. I lost my